Hello, friends. It's John Klein III with episode 243 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, your premier Kitty Pryde, Lockheed, and Magic podcast. And today have the lovely pleasure of having as a guest Amanda Martini, the Chatissa of Southern Maryland, a cosplayer, a Watch Award-winning actor, and four-time nominated costume designer, and by far my favorite Rachel Summers cosplayer. How are you today, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you, John?
I'm well, thank you. Appreciate you so much agreeing to be on the podcast. You're one of my favorite guests when I listen to other podcasts. So I was like, let me reach out and see if you do me the kindness.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do enjoy talking about the X-Men a lot.
Yeah, right. And yeah, and now's the time for all X-Men fans to get excited. I don't know if you've been tracking the MCU movie news or not, but
I have been.
any thoughts on how you're feeling liking the
I
cast?
mean, I'm always, anytime there's a new project or new movie, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm
Yes.
excited for the cast. I'm excited for the creative teams.
Mhm.
However, you just kind of never
Yeah.
know how they're going to end up. I mean, we have been burned a lot in the X-Men
Yes.
fandom with movies, and I mean, it's not all bad, but there was enough bad in them.
Yes.
So again, hopefully we'll have some improvements. I'm
Yes.
excited to see what they're gonna bring, what story. I still haven't seen Brand New Day, so unfortunately
Oh,
that movie has already been spoiled for me, but
yes.
it's fine. I'm not a huge like spoiler
No.
person. I don't necessarily care. However, I know that there are people who do care about
Yes.
spoilers. So I try not to, get involved with, any of that kind of stuff. But anyway,
Understandable.
it it's fine, but again, I'm excited to see that, they are skewing younger for the cast. I'm
Yes.
excited that there are more female cast members
Me
that have been
too.
announced
Hmm.
than male cast members, which is great. Because as we all know, the best X-Men are women.
That's definitely true in all respects.
Yeah, so yeah, again, I as the kids say, I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna see
Yes.
what happens, and I will probably be in line the first day to see whatever it is that they do.
Yeah, me too. And I know I took that Friday off so we could watch Spider-Man as spoiler free as possible, but just because I that's how my brain works and I was able to do it at work. So I was just like, oh yeah. So it worked out for me. But yeah, I get, not rushing. And my son's seen it twice now where I'm a bit jealous. I'm like, I want to see it again, but
Oh my
it's
goodness.
hard to see a movie more than once in the theater, but
Yeah.
so how did you get started cosplaying? Like I know you have a flair with X-Men characters, like Dazzler and Polaris I've been highly impressed with. But yeah, how did you get started?
Um, well, I started, so I'm a theater kid
Oh,
and a
sure.
comic book nerd. And with theater came costuming. Because as a bigger person, I ended up always having to costume myself. So again, I got into costuming um and so like cosplay just sort of like cosplay and drag at the same time
Sure.
all just sort of combined together in one. Um, and how I like so like I was doing like some cosplay looks for Halloween and I did like a very small local convention and I saw online that a friend was hosting a contest for an organization for a queer organization here in DC and I was like, "Oh, well, I have some costumes. I'll show up to this thing. I'm not gonna like get too excited about it. Like I'll be able to like say hi to my friend. It'll
Mhm.
like I'm gonna get some friends to come with me. It'll be like a fun night out in DC. And I ended up winning. And
Oh,
so with that um came a lot of convention appearances as Captain Green Lantern in 2018 with LGBTHQ, a now defunct queer organization. And it just sort of like started me on this whole like journey of like taking cosplay like more seriously and um working the convention circuit and building new cosplays and meeting all sorts of incredible and amazing people and sort of being a weird niche internet personality
Well,
where
sure.
where again
And beloved.
more people know who I am on the internet now than I think in like my real life, which is sort of weird to say.
Sure.
But
Well, I'm in the same boat. Like I have like two best friends. They're both in Arizona and I'm in Montana and I barely talk to like three people a day, but that's more my personality. But yeah, like I got more internet friends than anywhere else.
yeah, and and again, like going to a lot of conventions
Hmm.
and also in guesting on a lot of podcasts, which is awesome, and I love it. Anytime I get to talk about X-Men, I'm down.
Hey, and how did you oh well, is there a trick to your characters you choose?
So it's characters that I love.
Sure.
And I also definitely like to choose characters that haven't like so I have a not I wouldn't say like hard and fast rule, but it's like a pretty standard rule of if I have seen a costume done really well by someone else, it's not that I think that I couldn't do it or that I shouldn't do it or that that person owns that character, but I'm just like it's been seen. I
Oh,
don't
sure.
feel
Yeah.
I don't feel the desire to then like to do it again. I prefer characters who don't get a lot of spotlight. I prefer
Right.
characters that maybe I've never seen anybody cosplay. And again, it's not to be like the first or only, but it's just like for me, being at a convention dressed as a character that doesn't get a lot of attention otherwise, it's someone who knows and someone who's really excited to see that character is like so excited and like, oh my gosh, I never thought I'd see a Fantasia or a
Or
Siobhan
Tangerine.
Aaron or Tangerine, which is so exciting for people. Or people like, wow, I really like this look, but I don't know who this is. I'm like, oh, good. Do you have 20 minutes for me to
Right. Yeah.
info dump about this character because I love them so much and I want everyone to love them as much as I do.
No, and yours are amazing. Yeah, there's been some characters I'm like, let me read the caption and see how I'm like, oh yeah, like I know that character. And so how did you come to become an X-Men fan?
So, the issue that we're going to be talking about today, so my cousin, that we would go visit often when I was a kid. He had the original Marvel trading cards.
Oh,
And
sure, yeah.
so he had like the complete set and then he was like to me and my brothers, he was like, look through them like this is like my doubles pile. So like if you see a character that you like, go ahead and like take that one because again, they're the doubles and
Oh, yeah.
the first card that like really stopped me was and it's drawn by Art Adams.
Oh, I
It's the
love our
Shadow Cat card, and she's holding Lockheed, and I was like, who is this girl dressed in blue
Mm-hmm.
with this purple dragon? And the next character that like stopped me was Phoenix, Rachel Summers. And then when I was reading the back, I was like, oh, both of these characters are on this team called Excalibur. Like I should look into that. And my cousin was like, "Oh, I have this back issue of Excalibur. It's the only one that I have, but like here." And it's this very strange issue that is right after Limbo. So the team is coming back to the UK after being in America handling Limbo stuff. And it's the issue that leads right into the Cross Time Caper. And it's
Oh,
this
yes.
weird kind of like fill-in issue. Um, and again, I was kind of confused by a lot of like what was happening,
Oh, sure.
but by the time we got home, um, and I had like my own money and we went to the comic book store, I went to the comic book store and the issue that had just come out was Excalibur number 40. And I was like, okay, well, this is the comic that, that's the current series of what this issue was, and it was honestly like the best issue to start with because it
Yes.
is sort of a retelling of Excalibur's origin. So like at that point I had read a couple of X-Men issues. I had read because like my cousin had sort of like that weird scroll era of Uncanny X-Men,
Oh,
where
yes. Hmm.
the Jim Lee, where again they're wearing like the gold and blue uniforms. They just released those Marvel Legends recently. So like
That's
I
right.
kind of knew who like some X-Men characters were. I had like devoured all of the cards and was like, trying to like figure out like who these people were. So I had figured out who Kitty, Kurt, and Rachel were, but I had no idea who Megan and Captain Britain were. So when I was reading Excalibur number 11, I was like, I don't know who these people are. Like, what is this? And then when I read this issue, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like understand their origins. And so starting with issue 40, I collected Excalibur monthly until I want to say after like maybe like into the 80s
Okay.
when Brian turned into Britannic, and then I
Oof.
was like
It's
I
a
don't
good jumping
know.
off point. But do you miss Cherie then? I can't remember
Oh, oh,
where.
oh no, no. Cerise is like in the peak of when I was
Okay,
reading
perfect.
the Excalibur comes, because Alan Davis is by far my absolute
Yes.
favorite
Yeah.
comic book creator. He's my favorite artist. Unfortunately, I missed him when he came to the local Baltimore Comic Con,
Oh.
but a friend of mine, Jessica Krause, who is, for people who follow me on social media, she's the Xena cosplayer that I
Oh,
do
oh,
a lot of
yes.
conventions with. Um, I gave her prints of all of the Alan Davis designed costumes that I had done, and she gave them to Alan to sign, and he apparently just gushed over them and was
Oh,
like,
as
"Oh
he
my gosh."
should.
He was like, "There's Tangerine, and there's all of these Betsy looks and Satinine," and he said his favorites were Tangerine and Satinine because they were so obscure. He was like, I didn't even know that people knew who
Right.
those characters were.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I gotta say my first issue was issue 53 because Terry Cavanaugh was writing Spider-Man at the time and
Hmm.
he was editing this book. And so literally in a genius marketing move, literally had Spider-Man 25 of Excalibur. And I was like, well, who are these people? And then I went over
Oh.
to Excalibur where Spider-Man was on the cover and I was like, well, I'll buy these. So,
So interesting. I just met Terry Cavanaugh
oh,
this
do you?
weekend. Yes, so he came and was on a panel with us at FlameCon. He is very lovely. He was very nice, and he told some fun stories about like editing and writing for Marvel.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad he's doing well. It's not really a
Yes.
name you hear people throw around as much anymore, but
Yeah.
he
Uh,
deserves it.
Yeah, he and Gregory Wright were both on
Oh,
the panel. They're both, so Gregory I had met previously before at FlameCon, and had met through doing the Gray Malkin Lane podcast
oh
show,
yeah. Chad's
and
great.
Chad is wonderful, and yeah, so like I'd already known Gregory, and so then we met Terry, and it was a really good panel. It's hosted by Daryl and Phillip from the X Factor Investigations, or the
Oh,
X Factor Files podcast.
yes. And I should have mentioned this in your introduction, but I couldn't think of a better person to spend Megan and Brian's 28th wedding anniversary than with you.
Oh
It's
my
on my
goodness.
phone, like having August 19th. It's also my friend Jesus's birthday, but I'm just
Okay.
like, oh, that's right, August 19th. Good thing I put this in my phone. But I can't
Nice.
believe, yeah, issue 125 came out, well, I guess 28 years ago now, but
Oh my goodness. That definitely makes me feel old.
yes,
Because
I know.
because again, I've literally been collecting since what's the date
Oh,
on
yeah,
this?
it
It is August 1991
1991.
is this issue Excalibur 40, which is
Yeah.
crazy to
I
think
know. I tried not.
it's
I know,
that
and it
old.
has the big thing on the cover, the Captain America's 50th birthday. So
Yes.
who knows
Well,
how old he
so
is
so
now?
I don't have that
Oh, hey!
on
I
my
wonder what's the
floppy issue.
difference. Do I have
I have
newsstand or do you have newsstand?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I might have
who knows?
newsstand.
That's one of those things. League of Comic Book Geeks is like, here's the newsstand cover. I'm like, they look the same to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have I have the actual barcode on mine.
Oh yeah. Well, I
That's
wonder.
crazy.
That is crazy. But yeah, just to, I guess, establish it for the listeners. So this is Excalibur Volume 1, Issue 40. It's written by Scott Lobdell, pencils and cover by Dave Hoover. Ekers are Harry Candelario and Tim DeZone. Apologies. Colorist Brad Venkata and letterer Bill Oakley with editor Terry Kavanaugh. This issue, for unfortunately, when you go to the credits page, literally just lists everyone's last names. Like, well, that doesn't help us in the future. But I'm sure at the time it made perfect
Yeah,
sense.
and also it's definitely like a fill-in issue. Like
Yes.
it's kind of like between bigger dramatic moments in the series, and again, it's literally just a retelling of the origin story.
Mhm.
So I can understand why they're like, it's fine.
Yeah. And I believe I should have looked more into the next issue, but I want to say the next issue is Lobdell's final issue, and then Alan Davis takes us away for issue
Yep,
42.
yep,
So
yeah,
it's great to have,
yep, and then Alan Davis comes back in and he carries us through the 50s.
yeah, which I love those
Yeah,
issues.
again, like this is my heyday of comic
Yeah.
books.
And if this is a safe place, which I believe it is, it's like
Yeah.
I prefer the Alan Davis mid years more than the beginning years. Like I don't know, sometimes I get asked, I say sometimes it happened once, but someone asked me like, "Hey, I'm getting tired of cross time caper. When can I drop it?" I'm like, pretty much right then. Like you can drop out whenever. It's like 15 chapters or something. Like once it doesn't connect.
Yeah. The cross time caper I think does last just a little too
Yeah.
long.
Well, I think they start making jokes on the cover, like still happening, part 9 of 7. And I'm like, okay, everybody. Fun concepts though, but I'm just like, when does Bad Girls from Hex start?
Yeah.
But the previous 3 issues, was the Promethean Exchange arc that had Doctor Doom and the West Coast Avengers, and they all fighting Doctor Doom naturally. And because Kitty is trying to give Doom Magic's Soul Sword, which seems insulting. But in the fight, Lockheed gets zapped by Doctor Doom because he's a jerk, and Lockheed's injured. And so that's what gets us to this issue where poor Lockheed is injured, and the poor doctors are trying to not operate on them, but they're like, we're human doctors, not alien shaped as dragon doctors. And so the poor guy is just, you know, hanging on for dear life. Kitty's a wreck because yeah, she feels bad for bringing Loki in the battle, and probably because she's like, I should never have given a piece of Ilyana's soul to Doctor Doom. And but yeah, then the whole issue, Loki's getting astral bodied into space to the Flock spaceship. Oh, we find out Loki's space alien race is called the Flock, and they apparently talk in rhyme. How did you
Yes,
like it this many years
that
later?
was kind of wild. So again, I was like 10, I was almost 10 when I read this issue. And even I was like
Oh yeah, I would have been 10 too. I'm
grown.
an 82 baby.
Yeah, same.
Oh hey, nice.
Um yeah, but like it was definitely like a little bit of a groan to be like,
Yes.
"Oh, they
And
speak in
there's
rhyme. Of course they do."
and it's
Um
so many pages.
yeah, but again that you get like this little because we had never seen anything about Lockheed's
Yeah.
origin or where he came from or
Hmm.
like what he was doing on the spaceship when Kitty found him. And so it's kind of like a cute little like side story of like,
Yes.
you know, he comes from this dragon's race and he apparently had a girlfriend
Yes. A fiance
and
too. Like, and her
yeah,
dad's the defender
yeah, and
or
it's
prosecutor.
yeah, and it's just kind of you can tell that like it's not super high stakes.
No.
Like there's not anything like too crazy about it, but pretty much Lockheed is defending why he stayed on Earth,
Yes.
why Kitty is so important to him, and why what he does with Excalibur is so important.
Hmm.
And um, it doesn't get resolved really this issue. I mean, it kind of does. Um,
I don't know, because I
right,
don't know if he
because
wakes up at the end of this, does he?
no. Oh no, wait, he does. So he does get sent back.
Oh,
They
that's
do
yeah.
agree to send him back, but before he wakes up, those the weird X-Men duplicates
Yes.
show up.
The werewolves, I believe they
Yes,
are.
yes.
Because you can't, I don't know, this is during the classic time where the X-Men are believed dead, but then
Yes.
um
So at this time the X-Men are still believed to be dead. This is that weird like Outback post-Outback era where the X-Men weren't really a team. They were a scattered group of people around the
mhm.
world as slowly coming back together. That sort of crazy Claremontian epic arc.
And they can't use phones to call each other, be like, hey, can you please not tell anyone we're alive?
Well, I mean the I mean again, not to get like too deep into it. What I mean, the whole reason they were fine being believed dead is because they were actively being sought after to be killed.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So originally they were hiding from the Marauders, um, who I guess technically are still around and about and all of that. And then they
Yeah, just
just realized
high-fiving
that
each other.
and that yeah, and then they escaped from the Reavers, and they got scattered by the Siege Perilous, and Wolverine is off in Madripoor, and
With Jubilee.
yeah, yeah, it's just a really weird, wild time. Storm was a child.
Oh yeah, Little Row.
Yeah, it was a wild time for the X-Men. But yeah, so Excalibur still doesn't know because even though they went to go fight with Inferno, they never interacted with the X-Men while they
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah, I think there's a two-part series where like finally Kitty meets Gambit, because I remember a couple of years ago I was like trying to do a Gambit read-through. I'm pretty sure Cerebro did a Gambit episode, and I was like, let me refresh my memory on some Lockheed or Gambit. And I was like, oh, that's right. Gambit showed up in two issues of Excalibur with Jubilee. I was like, this is where he and Kitty finally meet. Because it's weird when you think about like these established characters and how sometimes like Kitty and Jean Grey have like maybe 60 issues where they actually interact with each other, because either one's in
And
a space bullet or one's dead. And
and and like I think Rachel technically knows that they're alive
oh sure,
at
yeah.
this point because she met up with X Factor. Oh no, no. She doesn't know the X-Men are alive. She knows that Jean is back.
Oh sure.
Because
Well,
she
X
had the
Factor should
whole
be around, right? Probably.
yes, yes. So again, so she knows that Jean is back, because of the days of present tense, days of future tense,
Yeah.
whatever that the issue is.
Those
Issues are with
annuals.
Ahab and Franklin are, but
Oh, that's right.
it. Oh, and in that, Rachel does know that Wolverine is alive
Okay.
still.
And kissing her mom from
Um,
time to time.
yeah, but yeah.
Uh oh, I meant to mention when we are talking about the dragon speak or the poetry, this will ruin if you read like, because after this I was like, oh, I bought some Krakoa back issues. I want to read those, and I was still reading those in like a rhyming like sing-song voice, and I was just like, this isn't Cyclops like rhyming here. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, again, it definitely gets a little old, but at the same time, it is kind of cute. Like when he so in the trial, he goes one by one and pretty much kind of gives a little synopsis of everyone's origin, and again, like telling us who they are, and it is kind of cute,
Yes.
but it does get old really
Yeah.
fast.
And it's cute to see his perspective. Like, this is Nightcrawler. And we even get like an X-Men origin page too.
Hmm.
And they're not splash pages, but they're at least like, this is the Kitty page. This is the X-Men
Hmm.
page. And we see Hoover try to do like recreate some Paul Smith panels, and Paul Smith's my favorite, but Alan Davis is like close second.
Yes.
But like I'm a sucker for the Paul Smith Uncanny X-Men like 9 issues, and I'm just like, these are
Hmm.
my babies. And yeah, and then like Rachel gets things, and but I think there's like a reference to Kylun where I'm like, I don't think he knows Kylun's origins at this point, but sure, we had to remind the readers that Kylun's about to become a big deal under Alan Davis's tenure.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Lockheed during the trial, he's asked if he could do the science version or the art version. He chooses art because he wants to use that magic pencil. But it's like, well,
Yes.
thankfully it's a comic book too, so art was probably the best route to go. Oh, and I don't think we ever see the flock after this either. Like he's like his alien race is
No, we like
referenced, but
we really don't. Also, this issue I think is because this is where we again we start to get the where Necrom comes in, and so
oh
we're getting
sure.
like sort of some of like the earliest like hints that like something weird is going
Yeah.
on in England.
And thankfully they haven't met him yet, but Pharaon's going to play a huge part into killing Necrom.
Yes. Oh, Farron.
I know. He's such a silly little boy who I'm sure as a
Yes.
kid I was like, I don't like this guy. But as an adult, I'm like, he brings a chaotic energy or a whininess. I'm like, not every team needs that character, but it's fun this character did, or this title got
Hmm.
it. And I'm reminded of that time Megan's and like she becomes a waterfall
Yes.
statue, and he's just
Uh-huh.
like, "What's your problem?" And Kitty has like yell at him, like, "Stop being a jerk!" Like she's
Yes.
sad.
Yep. Yeah, he shows up with an image of Captain Britain, and Kitty's like, that's bad news. And then he gets stuck turning into the waterfall with her, which then
Oh,
turns
that's
into
right.
the whole arc, or like him showing up to their wedding later, trying to kill them because he's sad that
Right.
no one remembered who he was. And I'm like, girl, people don't care who you
No,
are.
I'm not even sure when's the last time he was in a comic book, but and he's
He I want to say he recently showed up in like the background of something,
oh,
but
I was gonna
again,
say, and he's not distinctive enough to be like, oh, it's a pasty white character in a green cloak. That must be Pharaoh.
yeah,
But oh yeah, I
yeah,
bet. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, if he was ever on Otherworld or anything, but you think he'd be perfect for like a background character in some realm.
yes. I'm trying to remember. I want to say he showed up somewhere, but yeah, again, no one really cares enough about him to bring him anywhere.
Yeah. But I'm trying to
Oh
think
no,
if
no, he has not appeared since Excalibur 125,
oh
the wedding
really?
issue. Yeah.
Oh man, you're so brave. If I try to Google anything on this laptop, it'll crash the whole thing. But okay, well then, dang. Even Alan Davis has never brought him back for revivals
Nope,
because I know like Alan Davis did that 85th Marvel special where he got like 10 pages to do a Excalibur special, and I guess he
nope,
didn't use them
nope.
there either.
Yeah, no, they're just letting him
Yeah.
just be be elsewhere.
Which I want to say, in October or November, we're getting that Captain Britain 50th anniversary,
Yes,
and
uh-huh.
Alan Davis has a cover that I immediately pre-ordered because it's like I
Yep.
think 50 characters, like
Mm-hmm.
mostly heads, but I'm like, that's Alan Davis artwork. I recognize it as soon as I page
Yep.
down. So I'm excited about that. I think some Betsy content too, like it's supposed to be both
Yes.
characters. So
Mm-hmm.
um I know it's
For
not
sure.
much of an issue, but it is an adorable. And if you're a Lockheed fan, like you got to read it just for like
Yeah,
I can't think of another issue.
yeah, I mean, so later when we get into like the shield and oh, what's the name of the
Sword,
one with yes, yeah, sword. Like we kind of understand that he's like this weird triple agent or something, which
right?
I never really understood.
No.
Um, but yeah, this is kind of the first time we get any kind of origin of him.
Yeah, I think in Astonishing X-Men, there's that throwaway line of like, "Oh, he had trouble on his home planet, so we helped him, but in exchange, we needed him to be our camera." And it's like, oh, like I feel like the X-Men probably could have helped him out at all.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Is there anything else to dwelge out of this? Oh yeah, and then the X-Men, the back are Jean, Storm, Colossus, Psylocke, Rogue, and Wolverine. So and Rachel is having a hard time like reading their thoughts, and it's like, well, Jean's there, but we'll find out later why she really can't, because I guess the werewolves don't
Yep.
have well now I'm trying to think of other Excalibur topics. Do you have any other favorite Kitty Pride stories at all? We could...
So, I mean, I would say that just this whole run from issue 40 through issue 50 is some of the best and most fun Excalibur stories.
Yeah.
Again, we're about to get the TechNet back and
Oh, I
living
love
in
the tech.
and living in the Excalibur Lighthouse. Like 42 is another really good issue that's when the TechNet attack them and explode the
Oh,
lighthouse. But
yes. The
but
bathroom.
so pretty much this whole run between now and issue 50 is the just Alan Davis sort of like wrapping up a bunch of fun things that he had going on. And then after that, again, some of it's written by Davis, some of it not. Um, but like that's again like my Excalibur. So like 50 through 75 is some other really good stuff. The Cloud 9
Oh,
stuff that
yeah.
happens, that like
Mm-hmm.
that whole arc is really fun. The Return to the Days of Future Past,
Yes.
which again is where my absolute favorite Tangerine shows up.
Mm-hmm.
That's some really good stuff. But pretty much then after like 75, well
Oof, yeah.
actually a little bit before, so like 70 is when then the editorial mandate comes in to
Yes.
be like, we're making this an X book again. So they start writing out all of the Alan Davis creations that aren't specifically X-Men, like Kylan and Cerise
Oof.
and Pharaon and Micromax.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so they
Micromax.
slowly, yeah, and so then they slowly filter those guys out and bring in Moira McTaggart, Rory Campbell, Amanda
Wolfsbane.
Sefton, and Wolf Spain, and then Doug Locke eventually, which I'm not even getting into all of
Yeah.
that.
P
Um,
Wisdom.
but yeah, but like pretty much this through 75 are like my favorite.
Nice.
Like it's like this is like my core memories of Excalibur. Another fun little side story is when Excalibur and the blue team of X-Men fight against the London Trolls.
Oh, yes.
Um,
That was the story
which
I was awkwardly trying to reference about when Kitty meets Gambit for the first time. I
yeah,
couldn't
and
remember who they were fighting.
Yeah, so it's the London Trolls, and it's interesting because also Psylocke is in that issue,
Oh,
or
yeah.
those two issues, and because Brian has already been turned into gold, like they don't really have any interaction because this is still like early on when Brian is still kind of awkward about the fact that his sister is now Asian.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but then Alan Davis picks that up later when the Crazy Gang come back and Jamie Braddock comes back and Betsy and Brian are really trying to like rebond together again, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, and I should mention, you were on Best Issue Ever, Sarah's Century, where you did issue 71,
Yes,
right? That was such a
yes.
great episode to
Issue
this one.
71 is another one of my favorite. Again, it's in that whole thing between 40 and 75. Issue 71 is the Fatal Attractions tie-in.
Yes.
It is one of my absolute favorite issues. Um, it's the sort of fallout epilogue of Fatal Attractions. It's also a huge Kitty and Colossus and
Yes.
Rachel and Cable story
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's and like this is before uh I believe Rachel even knows that Cable is her brother. Um
Okay.
which is wild.
Yeah.
And it's the last time that they see each other before Rachel is flung into the past and then reaches out to Cable to bring her back into the present all those years. Well, publication wise, all those
Right.
years later.
Yeah. It's a very complicated Summers family tree and time
Hmm.
nonsense. But I keep thinking about you and Sarah talking about how Excalibur's gay business, and I was like, there's none of that in this issue, unfortunately.
Well, that's because this is dragon business. This
That's
is
true.
dragon's
But
business.
even like Rachel gets like sad, and then not Kitty, but Brian goes and comforts her, and I'm like, well, that's a weird choice, but sure.
Well, because Kitty's obviously already a mess. Like
Oh,
Kitty
that's
can't
true.
comfort Rachel because she can't. And Rachel is all really angry, and she's like, "Well, because people then hurt the people that I care about," and then she gets super phoenixy, which is fun.
Yes. And swears that she'll kill Doctor Doom if he ever crosses her again. Where I'm like, okay, Rachel.
Yes.
But she did fight Galactus at, well, I don't know if that's happened at this point either, but she's known to fight a person or two.
Yo, for sure, for sure.
Well, thank you, Amanda, for being my guest. If I get my act together, this will drop tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to promote? Any socials if you want to be followed?
So yeah, so people can follow me across most social media at Demanda Martini, DMANDA MARTINI. Again, that's Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky. Those are Threads. Like those are my main
Oh,
ones.
sure.
If you're following me on Threads, it's mostly just well, actually, for the most part, it's all of the same stuff. But Threads, you get the added bonus of listening or seeing all of the things that I like about Heated Rivalry. So
Oh,
you're
sure.
welcome. Um,
Which Rochelle
but
was she had a, sorry to interrupt you. She had
yeah.
a podcast of her own, Living Between Wednesdays. And I remember on that podcast, she talked about how she was getting way into slash fiction and like she and
Oh yeah.
hockey, and all of a sudden she's like, you know what, I'm going to start writing a book. And then when I saw one day HBO had this show, I'm like, hey, isn't that my Twitter friend Rachel's book? And then literally, yeah, like she had blown up in the time I had lost track of her. But Heated
Oh
Rivalry is such a
yeah.
good show.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's my favorite show right now. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, coming up, I'm gonna be at Dragon Con in a few weeks, and then
Oh,
right after that, I'm gonna be at the Uncanny Experience.
oh, has that
So if
not
you're
passed? For some reason, I was like, oh, that's beyond me now. But
no, this year it's in September,
oh, okay.
which is when they like to have it. Last year it was in July.
Oh, that's
Um,
what I'm thinking of.
But um, but yeah, so I'm also going to be going to XenaCon
Oh,
this year. So if you're a Xena person, oh, you can also find me on my podcast,
oh,
Two Drag Queens, a Lesbian, and a Baby, two DQLB Pod on Instagram. It's where me and my friends just pretty much. It's just an inside look at me and my friends group chat. We talk about nonsense, but we're also doing a Xena rewatch, and we recorded the last three episodes of season one. So look forward to getting those posted.
nice. And I believe that podcast is on YouTube, right? Like,
Yeah, it's yeah, it's across pretty much any platform you can listen or watch podcasts on.
oh, nice. And yeah, I listened to the latest one because I was like, what's this? I was surprised to see it, and I was like, well, I'll listen to this. That was a great episode.
Well, thank you so
It's a
much.
good
I
group of
appreciate it.
friends. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank
Well,
you. Oh,
John, thank you so much for having me.
oh, my pleasure. And hopefully everyone follows you as they should, as it's one of my favorite Instagram. Whenever yours loads first, I'm just like, hey, the algorithm knows exactly what I want.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much,
Well,
John.
thank you. Well, thank you again to Amanda Martini for being my guest and talking about Excalibur 40, um, Volume 140. Now we're going to spoil this week's comics with Uncanny X-Men Volume 634, Bishop Volume 2 3, Inglorious X-Force 8, Avengers Armageddon 3, Captain Marvel Dark Past 5, and very quickly Queen in Black 3 and Queen in Black Defenders of Light and Dark 2. Uh, so Uncanny X-Men, Volume 6, Issue 34, we find Rogue and Gambit, or I'm sorry, Wyvern, um, wrapping up with Gabriel the Demon Hunter. And then and Gambit's just going deeper and deeper into this friend persona, bat wings and all. And Rogues is committed to, staying married to her man as, to death do you part and through illness. And um those Rin does get tormented by visions of a possible son with him and Rogue. And then the son's very jealous that they have decided to adopt Jitter and Calicchio. And that's the only panel we see of them. So I'm like, well, shoot. And then meanwhile, at the Haven's house, Monet's still trying to lead the X-Men. We get a little exchange of her and Jubilee, which I love. We see Logan has both his adamantium claws, so we just assume this takes place in the future where he gets those back. or we assume it takes place before it. What is continuity? And we meet a new mutant, but not a new mutant. In Howler, who I just kept breaking my heart with every new thing. Like for instance, the Sentinel shaped dog um Waffles starts barking and Monet tells it to sit, and then she turns and sees Howler sitting, and it's like, oh, like clearly he's been abused. And Nightcrawler, Logan, and Jubilee are gonna find out who his handlers were and deal justice. Um, and we get a little reference to Monet, who thinks in terms of we and us, but also throws an I in there. So I don't know if something's going on, but officially we get in a caption that Grey Moken prison has been shut down. So, I thought it was in a transition period, but apparently we're just done now. So that's nice that all those mutants were freed. And we get a lovely scene with both Marcus and Alice St. Juniors. Oh yeah, and how they're ate all their or tore apart their chickens because they're being so loud because he's clearly on the run. And I suppose if the outliers are now the new mutants, Howler's gonna fit the Wolfsbane um spot in the team. And oh yeah, and then they meet Rogan's Vern and Gabriel meet Repent, who is a someone who specializes in exorcisms, but for mutants. So whatever strange academy he went to, he took an extra semester to get that specialty. And then Quicksilver, I don't know, he's a little more redeemed in this issue as he's very concerned about Monet being attacked by whatever creature is about to attack them. And it might be a bit much because Monet is essentially Marvel's Supergirl, but with telepathic abilities. So it's like, all right, but sure, might be the supportive boyfriend. Um, and then Bishop Volume 2, Issue 3, it just keeps getting better and better. Bishop and Shard fight Skipping Stone, who's a mashup from the future of Fred Dukes and Toad. Bishop tries to warn Shard of future events, and she just doesn't have time for it. And the issue ends with Bishop trying to save his sister from Mirror Mine, who is a Mystique type with telepathic powers, which seems like a most dangerous of abilities. Oh, she must be a Mystique and Mastermind. I'm just figuring that out right now. Inglorious X-Force 8, MF MLFer resident takes the team to where Cowie should be. I like Cable using Boom Boom's Walkman as his recording device. Angel and Helverine keep having intense chemistry that I love. Retreat to a splash page of the team fighting constructs of Logan, Sabretooth, Psylocke, Elsa, Bloodstone, Apocalypse, Cannonball, and the Beyonder from Secret Wars 2. Meanwhile, Domino's recruiting her own X-Force, so Warpath, Richter, Shatterstar, and Pugmasher, who just looks adorable. And I had to look it up. Pugmasher is from Shatterstar's 5-issue 2018 miniseries. And then he has these 2 issues. So you can get all 6 issues for, I imagine, relatively inexpensively. Avengers Armageddon 3. Logan gets a lot to do this issue. Colton, the new superpowered Captain America, has destroyed all but Russia's nuclear weapons. That's going to play a issue later. Logan reveals he was the one who gave the mystery box to Colton. No one liked that decision. Logan and Winter Soldier go to confront Colton, and Bucky turns on Logan, and Colton beats Logan. Issue ends with Russia about to launch their nukes, and Ultimate Fury and Black Panther are in this as well. So, I mean, I gotta admit though, there's not been too many tie-ins for this mega crossover, so it just seems like the Avengers summer event. Captain Marvel Dark Past 5. Apparently, Carol's father died at one point. But the highlight of the issue is the Emma and Rogues talking to Carol in the cemetery. When Emma gave all of Rogue's Carol's memories to Carol, Rogue apparently kept one where her father gave Carol a birthday card and was like, I'm very proud of you. It's hard for me to say these words. and Rogue never had a father, and so she kept the memory, and Emma was going to transfer it over, but from how I read it, Emma or Carol now has the memory, but not the emotional weight of it. So, it's just nice that she recognizes Rogue could use it. Queen in Black 3, speaking of Emma, she's part of Carol's X Avengers, which includes 70s Beast. And as far as I can tell, only 70s Beast. Emma gets a plug that she has a school she could be running. Beast gets to say Fing Fang Venom, which is pretty fun. We get a fun panel of Giants, Giant Man, a new version, Atlas and Goliath. And then the rest of the issue happens with the Queen in Black storyline that I didn't connect to as well. And this is a mega crossover event of tie-ins and well, tie-ins and side miniseries. Speaking of which, we have Queen in Black, Defenders of Light and Dark 2, which has a great cast like Cloak and Dagger, Cable, Sunfire, Darkstar, and Monica Rambeau, the best Avenger. Definitely, no, just the best Avenger. Like my favorite is probably Vision, but close second, Monica Rambeau. And ask me tomorrow, I might swap the two. But uh and so we have a Patreon. Thank you, Vic from Comic Books Beyond for being the top tier Patreon. Check out his recent episode covering Kingdom Come. And we have three tiers. We have a free tier. And then there's a $1 tier for thank you for supporting the show, a $5 tier where you can sponsor a segment. And then top tier where you get your name said every episode. And I thank you so much from all my heart, not just the bottom of it. And next week's comics, we have X-Men Volume 736, Wolverine Volume 826. Ashley Allen comes back for Tomb of Apocalypse #1. What If X-Men, which involves Cassandra Nova running the X-Men. X-Men Outback 3, Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse 2, Gambit Wanted 2, and then Sorcerer Supreme 9. And for the top 10 list, we got some additions. So Magic and Cautious 5, Marvel Swimsuit Special Brand New Beach Day, Moonstar 5, Inferno Hulk 7, X-Men Volume United 6, Avengers Volume 934. That one's probably like I think it's run its course and we get it. Generation X 23 issue 1, X-Men Volume 735. I just love that issue. Like Beast and Magic hanging out and just talking about Magic's mentality at the moment. I loved it. And it looks gorgeous too. Like it deserves to be on the list at one point. Sorcerer Supreme 3 and X-Men Hellfire Murder #1. So thank you again to Demanded Martini for being my guest. And you can follow me on the socials at Jacko SIII on TikTok, YouTube, uh, Blue Sky, Twitter, and then the podcast at SNFWM on Instagram, where it's the main account, and then Blue Sky when I promote the podcast. And if you want to read my thoughts, you can go to shadowandflamewithmagic.com. And I keep meaning to mention I'm reading the last book in the What If series. What If the Multiverse Was Doomed by Devon Sanders. And it's pretty solid books thus far. I think I'm in the last 60 pages or so. And I meant to mention this for 2 weeks now, and mentioning it now. Literally the first time I had it next to the laptop the whole time and plumb forgot it. Anyways, great book if you're looking for a book and to read. And so everyone, please do not have any shadows of doubt and ignite those flames and make like magic and have a great week, everyone. All right, adios.